Good morning. My name's Jim, and here's another installment. This one's called The Ghosts We've Seen and Why. Uh, a lot of this goes back to the Ballet Hotel. My parents owned that restaurant bar for almost 30 years. And Colleen and I grew up in that building. Uh, there was just a lot of activity back in the 70s and early 80s. I truly don't know what's going on there now. The owners, they're great people. Uh, when they get back open again, we're all going to go have a beer together. But uh, there was always movement, always a lot of foot stomping. For instance, there's a staircase behind the back bar that comes down from the second floor. There's rooms and apartments on the second and third floor. And always coming, never going up, always coming down the steps, heavy boots on wood stairs that have been carpeted. Well, my father carpeted it back in the early 70s when he bought the place. But you always heard the sound on wood. I don't get it. They would stomp across the back room, slam the kitchen door back and forth, sometimes so hard you think the little glass pane in the window, it's one of those swinging restaurant doors, and you'd swear one of the glass would just blow out of it. One time it was so bad, and I'm not the only bartender it happened to. It happened to several bartenders that the footsteps started in the back room and got louder and faster. I was by myself. It was close to closing time, and I'm behind the bar, and they came right behind the bar. Louder, faster, louder, louder. Back me all the way up to the top of the bar. And when it got that close to me, over the bar I went. Back in those days, there was a telephone booth outside the front door. Yeah, long before cell phones. I went out to the telephone booth, called my old man, and said, "Pop, you got to come down here and lock your bar up. I ain't going back in tonight." It was frightening. I could have a full bar of people late at night, long after the kitchen closed, and for no good reason. And this happened repeatedly. You could hear every pot and pan in the kitchen, commercial kitchen, hit the floor. Every single one of them, like all the shelves collapsed. And all the bar customers would look at me like, "What happened?" And dutifully, I'd walk back into the kitchen, look around, nope, nothing, and come out just shaking my head. It happened so often, it kind of got old. But the curious thing is the sightings of people. Colleen saw one time a big, tall fellow, wide shoulders, in a suit, standing at the entrance to the dining room, the back entrance to the front dining room. And she immediately told the guy, "Hey, I'll grab your menu." She had to walk around him to the menu rack. When she grabbed the menu, turned back around, and she assumed that he walked into the dining room to seat himself. There was nobody in the dining room. My father had the same stories, that he saw a man standing right there, went around him to get a menu for him, and surprised that he wasn't sitting at a table. My stories of I saw the same guy twice. The first time was busy bar. I'm the only bartender. The ice machine's in the basement. I grab a bucket. I run it through the back room, into the kitchen, through that swinging door, and had to kind of make a semicircle to get to the cellar steps. And I get halfway down the steps and I realize there's a guy leaning on the counter, on a prep counter, just at the top of the steps in the kitchen. He's got his elbow on the counter, legs all stretched out. Tall fella, all white. Long, like horsey kind of face to him. And he's just smiling at me. And as soon as we make eye contact, he's gone. I actually saw his mouth drop open. He was shocked that I could see him, and he disappeared. That same situation kind of happened again. This time, I heard him come down the steps behind the back bar. He passed the entrance to the back bar that us bartenders have to go through. Walked around and stood behind 3 customers, 3 men sitting at the bar. I turn around and there he is, like glaring at me. The same guy, all white, long face on him. And he's just glaring at me, like messing with me. And I'm shocked. The 3 guys are looking at me like I've got a problem. But as soon as I make eye contact with that guy, again, his mouth drops open. He is shocked that he can be seen and is gone, just like that. That all happened back in the late 70s, early 80s. Fast forward to just a few years ago, I'm on my couch in Bali. I own a house like right across the street. And the house is dark. I'm watching TV, so the only light is the TV. And I saw a woman blink on. And she was walking past the bookcases on her way to the 2nd floor stairs. And the reason I know it's a woman, because I could only see the torso, but I could see a little frill at the bottom of her top, it kind of frilled away from her waist. And so, a woman. I only saw her from like her neck down to maybe her hips, maybe a little below. And it only lasted a long second. She just blinked on and then went off again. So collectively, with all this, Colleen and I have talked about it for years. They don't have full control of when they can be seen. They can turn themselves off, but they don't know when they're going to blink on. And Colleen and I have heard over and over, if we humans can see them, they get in trouble. So what Colleen and I have done to kind of alleviate some of the stress for them, when we do these studies with recorders to record their voices, we keep all the recorders behind us. So there's no chance that we might see them blink on. Apparently it definitely helps. We used to put a recorder right in front of us years ago, and that particular recorder got no action because it's right in front of us. If they blink on, we'll see them, they get in trouble. More craziness to come. I can do this all day. Thanks. Please subscribe. It's important. If you want to read about this stuff in detail, go to our blog. It's the same name as the channel. Just put a dash in between the words. I'll see you soon. Thanks.